Me. I want to do a bit more on the ionian mode, tony iommian mode, from the 3-point harmony perspective. A lot of you were really cool about your comments. Now I wanted to just see if I've got to stand so far back that I don't know if you're going to see it. I'm going to talk to you and then I'll stand back and try and show you. So I'm going to do it starting in C, just the scale is obviously root, flat 2, flat 3, flat 4, flat 5, double flat 6, which sounds like a fifth, and a triple flat 7, which sounds like a minor 6. Now when you do the overlap, starting on E, same intervals, E, flat 2, flat 3, flat 4, flat 5, double flat 6, which is like a fifth, and the triple flat 7, which brings you back to C. You notice that thinking from C, you've now got C the octave, the major 7 and the flat 7. So major and minor 7s. Now think about it, I like to, when I get a new scale like this, I haven't really worked on this iommian scale, honestly. It's something that I just came up with as a bit of a joke, you know, like the Slaminsky book is written on a joke. I just thought about 3-point harmony. I came in from Messiaen's third mode, so a lot of you that are doing the iommian mode, if you look at my other things, it's only one note difference. Instead of a flat 2, it's a major 2. But they're very similar. And I came to it from the from the Messiaen's third mode. But what I usually do is I like to do 2 note, see what the intervals are. Like, there's a tritone right out the gate, flat 5, totally, but Tony's trilling from the major 4 to the flat 5, but you could go, see both of those work. Actually, let's try and do like a Randy Rhoads thing. I know Randy Rhoads, but he worked with Ozzy, so it's kind of Black Sabbath. We got that bit, but Randy stays in like you know, which is major. But Tony Iommi wouldn't have done that. He would have played it really slow. I wish I could add this really distorted like Tony's. I don't know how to get it like Tony. Anyway, I'm going to get a pedal that's going to be like Tony. It'll be easier to explain. It'll sound better. So get back to the intervals, Stu, you're getting off track. Well, the first thing we've got that you can, I'm playing C on the E string. There's the flat 2, the flat 3, the flat 4. You notice how the flat 4, although it sounds major, actually makes it a bit sort of like, major's meant to be happy. Ha ha ha, happy. No, it's not. And you got that chromaticism as well, because you got C, D flat, back to C, to B, because that's the major 7. So what I'm trying to say is there's loads of tritones. Now, tritones just means it's a balancing point. It's in the middle point of the scale. If you get a chromatic scale, which would be C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, E sharp, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B and B sharp, right in the middle of that would be F sharp. That's the chromatic going up. The chromatic coming down, excuse me, I just had lovely food and it's reminding me how great it is. Anyway, so coming down from C, you're on, that was going up. coming down, I might as well do it on that string actually. Same thing but coming down, but the notes are different, and this is what people get confused with. Musicians don't realise that music is about energy flow. It's flowing from one place to another, and everything's determined in very simplistic terms. If you're going anti-clockwise on the circle of fifths, I can't look at the camera because I get it fucked up. I've got to do it for you. That's clockwise for you, I think, because it's anti-clockwise for me. So if you're going anti-clockwise, you're spiraling down. That's a cycle of fourths is going downwards. If you come upwards, it's a cycle of fifths. 4 and 5's 9. Every musical interval adds up to 9. If you go C to E, that's a major third. If you go from E back to C, that's a minor 6. 3 and 6 is 9. Major going one way, minor coming back. You could go C to E flat, minor third going. Come back from E flat to C, major 6 coming back. It's always going to reverse. And don't get caught up with augmented and diminished. Diminished has got to be 4 notes to really be in the running. So you've only got 3 triads to worry about, major, minor, and the augmented is already really a major with just either a sharp 5, they call it, but it comes from the harmonic major scale, and it's really a flat 6. It depends what. I shouldn't say it's really that. It's wherever you're travelling from and to. It's about relativity. It's like an Einstein thing. Well, not Einstein. Let's not do him. It's a bad example. It's like a Tesla type thing. It's about energy flow. Music is about energy flow. Here, in this is a pickup. You know about this. It's got magnets in it. It's got coils of wire. The magnets magnetise the strings. When you play the string, it vibrates. As soon as you get a magnet vibrating or moving, it could be moving just one direction, through a field, you will create a voltage. That's how electricity is made, and your guitars are making that. You're playing with electricity and playing with music at the same time, and they're all the same thing, but no one's telling you this shit, except me. So we've got a nice tritone. It's always dissonant. This brings me to the picking technique of James Hetfield. Once again, not Tony Iommi, but we all know that Metallica are very influential. I recorded with Metallica. I was there as Lou Reed's guitar tech when they did Lulu. And I asked James up front, I said, dude, you've got one of the most famous rhythmical right hands in metal. Can you show me what you're doing? He said, yeah, sure, no problem. Showed me his pick. He's got a special pick made of different plastic. It's closer to tortoiseshell. So when you throw a normal pick down, it goes blink, and these ones go dink. There's a different thing. So he's pretty clued up on it all. Then he holds it a certain way, and he says the main thing is to palm mute. You know about palm mute, and you're all metal guys. If you're doing Tony Iommi, you know what you're doing. I'm like, it's teaching me grandmother to suck eggs or suck cocks. Shouldn't say that. Ooh, I'll get thrown off the internet. So you hold down. If I hit this on open, it's cool. I'm not very good. I'm not a metal guitarist. I'm not a very good guitar player, but I'm a really good guitar teacher. I can teach you shit that no one else can. If you want to know. Anyway, so where were we? We were doing intervals. So we got an interval there of a tritone. That's C to G flat. We got one there, just a semitone high. Another one. Where's the next one going to be? Let's see. Yeah. There's about 4 tritones in this. Now, some people would say tritone is a part of a dominant 7 chord like this. I'm going to back the volume down and try and get it a bit cleaner. There's a root, major third, flat 7. Now that major third and the flat 7 are a tritone, and people say, oh yeah, it's the 5 chord leading to the 1. Not necessarily. Listen, if you want to do like fake classical, you do minor, you can just, I'm not doing any, I'm just I used to call this zigzags. It's, you know, there's a zig one way and then you resolve it the other way. I wish I could do, if I had a bigger camera and I could do this, what if I get enough following and I can get someone like my mate Jakey, he'd be brilliant. He can do all this properly and we'll edit it and it'll be really great, and I'll be able to show, because I'll be relaxed, I can then play properly. See, even this guitar, this is Lou Reed's guitar, Steinberger, EMG pickups, same as Metallica use. Well, see, I keep getting lost. I've got so much stuff to try. Intervals, stay on the course. So you got that. Now here's the other thing. This is what I haven't tried this yet. I just had the idea. This is why I really wanted to make this video. The iommian scale, I've already told you, it's in 3 positions: C, E, and G sharp, and that's important, because that makes an augmented triad. And also, if you go back to the cycle of fifths, it's a triangle, equilateral triangle. C is at top, E is at 4 o'clock, G sharp is at 8 o'clock. Do you see a triangle? Do you see what direction it's going? It's going in clockwise. If I come back the other way, C, A flat, flat 6, not a sharp 5, and then what? F flat, not a major third, a flat 4. What have we got? Minor 6, minor 6, minor 6. So minor 6 going one way is a major 6 going the other way. Now, this doesn't matter in music. We've not been taught this stuff. It doesn't matter. I'm not trying to prove a point in music, but what I'm trying to say is music is a smaller thing of a grander scheme of things, which is what the Tesla stuff is all about and all this stuff. That's enough, don't freak them out. Anyway, this was the idea I wanted to show you. So C, E and G, that same scale from 3 points, hence 3-point harmony, hence from the augmented triangle. If you divide that triangle by a triad, which C and F sharp at the bottom is a triad, you divide an equilateral triangle, you get a right angle triangle and a left-handed triangle, or a mirror version of that. And that's coming from Pythagoras, which predates the Roman Empire by about 100 years. So the shit I'm talking about is very deep-rooted stuff, which is, you know, iommian and all these people, whether they know it or not, they know that it's coming from a deep source. That's why Tony knew, he felt it. You can feel when music's got something. You don't need all this modern day theory working from the major scale. That's not where that's coming from. This is coming from diminished. And if you look at C at the top, E flat at 9 o'clock, G flat at 6 o'clock, and B double flat at 3 o'clock, north, east, south and west, the news is also, the compass is also connected. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to teach you all that there's a unified system which basically frequency is notes fluctuating per second. We play at BPM, which is beats per minute. Think about the second hand on a clock, 60 BPM, 60 seconds, cycles, frequency, hertz. And then think about the cycle of fifths. All of this is all connected everywhere, throughout everything, and it goes way beyond music. Anyway, I probably said too much. I shouldn't have said. That's me in the corner, losing my religion, which is basically code for going crazy, I think, is what they said. Anyway, look, this is the idea I want to show you. That's E. I'm going to take it all the way down to C. Tony tuned down. Don't forget this. It's super important. A lot of people forget this. I'm just going to do this quick, so it's not going to be that accurate. So I've got C there. What's the next note I need to get now? I'm going to fuck this. This is my worst nightmare, to try and do something in front of a live audience. So let me think about this for a second. Oh, listen, that starts to sound like a didgeridoo, isn't it? I'm going to get on one on this. This tuning is going to work for me, I can tell. I've done the wrong. It's all right. It's got to come down anyway. I just did the wrong string. Right, I've got to keep going while I've got it on my mind. Now, when you get low strings, this is another thing they do. You see these dots? They put them in the middle of the fret, and all these little fret drawings show you to put your finger in the middle of the fret. If you do that, you pull it sharp because the string is going over the fret like that. That's the fret. The string comes over, and if you press in the middle, you pull it sharp. But if you try and hit it as near on the fret as you, don't hit it right on top. Jazz guys tend to do that. It makes it, it's a different sound. You hear but. You want to try and just slide onto that fret with the most littlest amount of pressure. See that's circulating. That's like I can deal with that. I'm a drone wizard. I do guitar feedback, and I like all that stuff. Like I said, I'm not going to get this too close because I'm nervous. You're making me really nervous. I can just see you going, this guy's nuts. I hate him. He can't even tune the fucking guitar. How is he a well-renowned guitar tech? I'm pulling that sharp because I'm leaning down. Yo, I wouldn't be playing like that. It's taking forever, isn't it? I'm so nervous. Can you imagine if I was on stage now? I'm waiting to go on with Metallica, and Lou's just given me this tuning 2 minutes before I'm meant to go on. You want to do what? I want to try a new tuning. What, now? Yes, now. Yes, now. What, you can't do it? I don't know, have a go, Lou. Now I'll always try and avoid playing major chords because it's going to go out. I knew it would. It's the thirds. The thirds. See, in equal temperament, all the thirds are 13 cents sharp. And over 300 years, human beings got to thinking that's the natural tuning. It's not. That's near enough for what we're going to do. So now look, this is the thing I'm going to show you. We tuned the E down to C. So when you play where C was, what note are you playing? E. And when you play where E was, what note are you playing? G sharp. So that augmented triangle that we started off with, if you do the tunings, like, even, you know, whatever you're doing to one, I know this is stating the obvious, but a lot of people don't think like this. It's like, I've realised that I didn't used to state the obvious because I thought it's so obvious that everyone knew it, but lots of times people don't. They go, oh wow, I didn't think about that. If you tune E all the way down to C, then E now becomes where C was, which is the major third of C. And the sharp 5 of C is G sharp, which is a major third of E. So that you start going, oh. Now this is why am I doing all these series? It's not even the right word. Why am I trying to put together a series of videos trying to teach you? I'm obviously not a metal guitarist. I'm obviously not that good a guitar player, but I want to be a really good guitar teacher. And I think if you think about any sport like basketball or American football, which is a ridiculous thing because it's played with your hands, really rugby with pads on. Anyway, but I'm not going to get into that. I upset I upset too many Americans when I start talking about football being played with the feet and not being called soccer. Anyway, getting off track again. Stay on track, Stewie. Yeah, so E tuned down. You know, Iommi did all this, but he's lost the tips and he's left-handed. Super important. All the most important guitar players on the planet that changed history, generally, not always, but generally are left-handed. Jimi Hendrix, he showed Tony some things. He knew that he had to pass it on to a left-handed guitar player. He got it from Albert King. Albert King's left-handed and upside down strung, which is the correct natural order of things, because the high notes, high strings are nearer, are higher. Frequencies that are high, the string should be high, technically, if you're going to be in sync with the universal system. But, I mean, I'm not going to push this point. I'm not going to, because if you start saying this stuff, people just go, oh, whatever. Everyone's got an opinion, it's like an arse, isn't it? We've all got one. Everyone's got an opinion. Mine is that it seems interesting that Hendrix was left-handed, Paul McCartney was left-handed. They both dated Linda Eastman, who Paul then went on to marry, Linda McCartney. She obviously had an eye for really good musicians who were left-handed. She heard something that, maybe other people didn't. Tony Iommi, left-handed. Kurt Cobain, left-handed. Sister Rosetta Thorpe is not left-handed, but she definitely changed a lot of stuff. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make for you metal guys is go back, look at old blues players. Yes, I know it seems like it's not your thing. There's something in that, because those old blues players did not tune to A equals 440. That's the first thing. Hendrix didn't. Oh, he's a quarter step low. No, he's not. He's wherever he felt like on that day. There's also tape manipulation back in the day, vary speed. Iommi did that. And a lot of the Iommi leads, he went for a lead break and he played it back, and then he tried to play to his own lead break. That's why his lead playing is, everyone goes, oh, he's just like noodling and he's doing a thing over the top. He's trying to he's doing in his mind an orchestral solo. He's like, try and listen to Iommi and think about it, instead of just hearing it as like noodling over here and noodling over, which is how I used to hear it. I thought, well, listen to the first one that he did, and it'd be great if we could get master tapes to say, that's the first one he laid down. Then he goes, oh, can I do another one? They did another one, and the guy was going, well, we've got a white one. He's like, no, don't wipe it. Let me go on his vocal track. And he probably built up several things, and then he might have even ridden the faders. I bet he did, to try and make it, I'd love to hear those. Anyway, why am I doing this? I'm doing it because I think that it's important that new frequencies or new combinations of notes, i.e. music, i.e. modes, i.e. scales, stop doing all what everyone else is doing. Back in the day, Tony Iommi didn't do all these, he knew all this stuff. He didn't know what it's called. He just did it by feel. He just felt that was right. Same with Geezer. I've seen music, some of these music people that do, these professors who analyse it. I saw one where they tried to analyse Black Sabbath, and it was fine. I was going on, and at some point it went, this makes no sense, because Tony Iommi is playing this, and Geezer's playing this, and there's all these notes, and it's all dissonance. I'm like, duh, that's the fucking point of Black Sabbath. And I immediately, that's why I'm a bit down on music professors and musicologists and music theory people, because they're coming from the wrong mindset as I'm concerned. They're coming from this major scale. It's a piano thing. Piano's only been around 300 years. It was invented by the Italians and perfected by the Germans, who brought in equal temperament. It was a standardisation so they could just sell pianos all around the world. I've got a friend, Ulrich Krieger, who's in Metal Machine Trio with Lou Reed. He's a professor out in California. He said, Stu, it was just purely industrial revolution. They wanted to, standardise things to shift So we got locked into it. Now, don't get me wrong. Finish your sentences, Stu. They won't know what you're saying. We got locked into equal temperament 300 years ago. That means that all the thirds are 13 cents sharp. So much so that we now think that that's natural and normal. And you'll notice that we're using loads of auto-tune. Everything's sweetened to I can't deal with it anymore. you know, everything sounds like bubblegum, like throwaway. Did you ever see that film Demolition Man with what's his name, Sylvester Stallone and Sandra Bullock, where he's a guy from New York from the past, in the days of Led Zeppelin and stuff. He's a cop and he gets put into the future, and in the future they don't do violence and they don't do it but he turns the radio on, it's all like bubblegum bullshit, and he says something like that. He goes, "What the fuck is this?" He puts on Led Zeppelin, and all of a sudden they all freak out. Like, Sandra Bullock wants to have sex with him. It's like, because there's power in the old ways, in the old tunings. You know, there's something to all of this stuff, people. I'm telling you. I know I come off like a crazy guy, and I really don't give a shit anymore. You know, we're embarking on World War III. I'm just going to get this information out and just... the reason I want you to have it, I'd like you to just see if it affects you. It'd be great if you could start... have a band where you've got two guitar players. One of you tune really, you know, down to C. One of you playing standard or in drop D. The overlap of harmonics. Yes, it's going to be a bit rough at first, but listen, Black Sabbath. Come on, dissonance is a good thing. Metal guys, you know, a lot of you metal guys, you don't realise it, but the more you learn and get schooled, mostly you really good dexterous people, you're playing jazz, but you're playing it with metal instrumentation. But you're thinking like jazz players. I didn't get it. I'm not a jazz guy either, but because I've studied all the circle of fifths and circle of fourths and all this stuff, from Pythagoras through Leonardo da Vinci and all this stuff, that I'm like, well, how's this relating to music? And it's like geometry and music, you know, these things they do, that it's all connected. It's just what I think. But that's just what I think. What do you think? Put it down in the comments below. My name's Russell. What do you call a man with leaves in his hair when the wind blows? Russell. Oh no, how are we going to sell it? We need a name, we need a brand. What can we come up with? Russell, what can we come up with, Russell? You got 33 on your arm. What's that, brute 33? Or is that 33 degrees of Freemasonry? I don't know. You were meant to be the handler of fucking Katy Perry and you got away with it. I don't know. Anyway, it's my little Russell Brand. I think he's funny as fuck. I'm going to do a whole piece. I'm doing stand-up comedy, by the way, people. Would you come and see me if I'm in the club in New York and I just stand there and rant like this? I need guitar players and musicians because my stuff is very specialised. Anyway, that's enough. So, do the intervals. We know what the scale is. I've given you all the intervals. You know, root, flat 2, flat 3, flat 4. Oh, that's the other thing I was going to say. If you just did a root, flat 2, flat 3, flat 4, flat 5, flat 6, flat 7, what would that be? It's the 7th degree of a melodic minor scale. And everyone goes, oh, it's the altered scale. It's... All we've done is taken that and made it even flatter. You're going more to the darkness. When I say darkness, you think, oh, you know, I don't mean the band of darkness, and I don't mean the dark side of, like, you know, devils and warlocks and all that shit. I mean, I'm not into that. It's just music. Think of it as like light. You know, black and white, you know, and everything in between, all those shades of grey. 50 Shades of Grey, there's way more than that. Between black and white, there's way more than 50 Shades of Grey. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is these are flavours, this is a palette, this is a long enough video now. This should get you writing some comments to me. Probably like slagging me off. I really don't mind. I actually find it quite funny when you say some of the things are fucking hilarious that people come up with. But some of you are really complimentary. Some of you are like, man, this is like, you're just... I had one guy go, this is like the most enlightening thing I've ever had. I'm like, wow. I'm glad that you're getting something out of it. What do we want out of it ultimately? We want new music because that's what creates new synapses in the brain. This is how human beings evolve. We hear new things, we have new toys. Don't get caught up into shiny things and chase frequencies, playing music, collections of notes, particularly with other human beings. Sitting in your bedroom on your own, it will only get you so far. You need to be interacting with each other spontaneously. Don't write things down. Get in the moment. Led Zeppelin just used to jam. So did Black Sabbath. So did Blackmore, and you can hear that, you know, with Deep Purple. You can hear in the old days, people, you know, Blackmore didn't say to John, "What you doing over there? What key you in?" He just went, "Fuck it." I'm going to do something that sounds good with that. And he at first he missed, you know, oh, that wasn't right. And gradually, and then they start to get a vibe. Then, you know, Ian Pace comes in, or why did Black Sabbath become like, I couldn't listen to him after a while, because Bill Ward is a jazz drummer. He's swinging, and see, timing is equally as important, if not more so, than tuning. Oh, that's the other thing I was going to say. When you lower strings, the mass of them changes. When you've got something under tension, you get all the high harmonics. But when they're loose, you have to be really careful, because you're pushing it feels like you're pushing a heavier string, even though you're not. If you lower it down, it feels heavier. Anyway, I know I'm all over the place. I've got so much information that, you know, it'd be great if I could just sit around with a few guitar players. But the trouble is, they'd be wanting a noodle, and I wouldn't be able to talk. I don't know. I think this is the best I can do at the minute, guys. I'm trying my best, all right? I really am encouraged by your encouragement. I know that sounds crazy. I'm encouraged by your encouragement. But I'm like that. I'm a bit of a wordsmith. I play with things. I'm dyslexic. I see words backwards and forwards. Wolf, flow. Dog, God. And I'm going to leave it there, but I've got a lot more. Like, you want to be a rock star? Rats. Star, rats. Start looking at words backwards and forwards. Start chopping them up. That's how dyslexics work. And a lot of people in the music, Lou Reed was dyslexic. A lot of people in the music industry are dyslexic. A lot of artists don't see things the way other people do it. David Bowie used to chop up sentences and words, throw it in the air, pick it up. And you'll be surprised how many times when you put that back together, how some external thing, you go, oh, what does this actually mean? You analyse it and you know exactly what it means. And it's either you or someone around you that you're writing about, and you didn't even know it. These are great exercises for songwriting and creative flow. This thing always makes my head sweat. I hate it. Well, I love it really, because I need it, because I've got C, but oh, sweaty head. Anyway, out. Have a good day.